don't turn on me here. Back with another Rome Total War video really quickly. And this is Scythia versus Parthia. The two-step armies are going to fight. But let's look at the armies. I've got 6 of these Archer Warband with no upgrades. I believe it's 6 or 7, it looks like, of these Scythian noble women, which are missile cavalry with no upgrades as well. And then I believe I have 6 of these Scythian nobles with 6 upgrades, so gold it looks like. And then I have my generals, Barbarian Chosen Warlord over here, also gold. You know, looking good. And we will be fighting against the Parthian armies of Macedonus Rex today. And here we go. That was a pretty quick deployment, as the battle is pretty quick. You can tell by the timer up here. But anyways, let's look at Macedonus Rex's army. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of Persian cavalry, and then he has an 8th unit as well with a general in him. He has 1 archer unit, no upgrades, and 1 slingers unit with no upgrades. Or actually, the archer has gold. I believe that his missile cavalry also have gold or something like it. And then he has 2 units of cataphractoi with gold it looks like, and they're going to begin moving out really quickly. And I initiate the battle by running up with all my men. And thankfully, Macedonus Rex had his army on fire at will, so it was mostly firing on my archers, not so much on my Scythian noble women, although they were taking casualties more at the beginning because they got up here first. But yeah, now, thankfully, our foot archers are acting as cannon fodder for the Persians, as well as shooting up a lot of them, which is good. And his cataphracts are rolling out towards my left, his right flank, and one of them hits this archer unit, and the other one is going for this flank force of 3 Scythian nobles. And of course I'm going to fight them, and there's 2 on that side and 1 on this side, and over here it doesn't look that good, but over here it looks a lot better because we've surrounded the cataphracts, pushed them into a little pocket, and they're not going to win that fight very easily. So they run and then they rout. And then my other 2 units come back to assist in this other pocket fighting over here. And 3 to 1 is not a good thing for these cataphracts, so they pull out, and they do manage to, both these units manage to come back and flee back to their own lines, although now, without any heavy cavalry to oppose my Scythian nobles, which are much heavier than the lightly armed Persian cavalry, I can basically run rampant through their Persian cavalry lines. And if the lag would stop, and basically tear them to shreds really quickly, which is always a good thing. So yeah, it's some pretty fluid action out here on the grassy flatland steppes, and some of my other cavalry managed to get in behind. I guess we can just wait it out. Yep, some of the other cavalry managed to get behind right next to their big unit of cataphracts, and we're just running down these archers and slingers now at this point. Killing this 1 unit of horse archers back here with its general in it as well. So hopefully we get rid of that soon. Yep, there they go. Sadly, we do not kill the general. Come on, lag. How could you? And then he brings all of my Scythian nobles actually routed fighting some Persian cavalry, which is kind of weird. And now they're going to fight against cataphracts, which is not a good thing because 1, I was standing at the still, and 2, as you can see here, he's going to circle around back and hit my men in the back, and one of my units routes, and I thought that would trigger a mass rout, but thankfully my Scythian nobles waver at the beginning, but then degraded to shaken morale only, so it was good, and I managed to get those guys out of there. And with not full horse armor, I'm going to outrun them easily, but then I cycle charge back, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting. And the good thing is the formation disintegrates and they kind of get stuck up in the mix again, and I kill all of them, and that other unit just routs for no reason. And now I can deal with these archers and such at my discretion once more. Yeah, as you can see, just running down horse archers and regular archers. Get rid of that unit really quickly. It's basically a massacre right now. And yet, like almost half my army's done nothing. Like all of my Scythian noblewomen have fired off about half their ammo, but other than that, they're not doing much. My foot archers have fired off a little bit less because they can carry more ammo, but they have been taking their tolls. You can see over here all these dead Persians, or Parthians, I guess, considering this is Parthia, not Persia. Persia was eliminated before Parthia came around. But as you can see, the last of my nobles are here chasing off the main remnants of their forces, which are now scattered around on the left flank. And you know, it's basically just a mop-up at this point. Or so I thought. Because for some reason, Scythian nobles can take on cataphracts with no numbers, but they can't take on Persian cavalry with about the same numbers, which was pretty stupid, sucked. But there's this one unit of Persian cav that was chasing off some of my archers, or my last Scythian noblewomen. So all my Scythian noblewomen are down here right now, all 7 of them, trying to shoot up this one unit so that way it doesn't come back, which they do pretty successfully. We kill a few of them. I do believe they rout eventually under this arrow storm. And he tries to put them in Cantabrian, and then it kind of goes out whack. Yeah, and then I just charge, because I knew that I would kill them if I just charged in. Especially because my noblewomen have much higher attack and armor stats than the crappy Persian cavalry, which is a good thing. There's still just arrows flying everywhere. So now we're going to leave these men as they rout off the battlefield. We're going to rejoin the main battle, which is over here right now. One second, sorry. But yep, I've formed up my archers to take out this pesky archer unit that keeps coming back from routing. So, you know, firing on the flanks. And then they are firing at these other foot archers, which are in turn firing at these guys, which are in turn firing at these guys. So it's all kind of a big chain of fire. And thankfully the archers rout, which is nice. And I do manage to actually hack down a couple of them right here. Well, at least I would have. But you know. So now I'm basically just going to use up all the arrows that I have left on their forces in order to make it so that way when I strike it's at my maximum effect, and all my Scythian noblewomen are kind of mobbed up over here, which was a bad thing because I was losing noblewomen pretty quickly. And this continues on for a few minutes of just death. And eventually I started running out of arrows here. And as you can see, this one unit up here, I believe, yep, they are out of arrows, so they're going to take their giant pointy swords and try and stick them into the Persian cavalry. And I forgot to put them back in tight formation, which was a mistake on my part, but thankfully, since they're so much better, they immediately hacked down one unit. It was a very big unit too. It was like a 30-man cavalry unit when it routed. And then the rest of them try and come in to save their fellow comrades, and I start hacking into them as well. Although, sadly, for some reason, like, they all get instantly massacred. So yeah, none of that unit made it out alive. That was a slaughter ground right there. But then, as you can see, even though I'm still Cantabrian circling, I guess you could call it, all my men are out of arrows now, so I'm going to engage back in hand-to-hand with the rest of these Persian cavalry. And these ones are unsupported, and I lost this unit, but they're not getting any reinforcements, so stats tell, and I win that fight. And now I'm going to try and chase off the remainder of the Persian forces, which, as you can see, is just these two units. And this one is in tight formation and really big. It was about 35 men strong, and I annihilated it like instantly. Cut down a lot of them while they were routing too, which is always good. And then there's just one unit left that we're chasing down. And we lost one man, or one woman, I should say, there. It's kind of sad. But war is not without casualty. And then, as you can see, we're slowly gaining on them. And right as we come into contact, we win.
The enemy are in full flight, and the victory is yours.
So, in the rapid action of the steppes, the Scythians prevail over the Parthians, I should say. And as you can see, I deployed way more men than Macedonus Rex. He did get more kills than me, which I guess proportionally makes it not so much of a clear victory as an average victory, or a close victory for that matter. But what really matters at the end is the fact that I had 481 men remaining and they only had 174, which does mean that I would have won if there was another battle with the remainder of my armies. But you know, let's see. Yeah, my archer warband took pretty heavy casualties and didn't do too much, but they were arrow fodder. And then, you know, it was pretty good. But I'll see you all later. Bye.